Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a video conversation between Alex Hormozi and Chris Williamson. Um, and he will be talking about high achievers and loneliness. And I think he's got a very different view of how high achievers should operate. I think he sees it where to become successful, you have to sacrifice yourself, you have to become someone who's lonely. I see the world a very different way. I believe success only comes through friendship, success only comes through having connections, a community. Because if you are on the way to success and you're doing it without a network, if you're by yourself, then it's going to be a very sad way um, to travel. I've spent a portion of my life where I was suffering from loneliness myself, and it's not a fun place. It's not something that you want to wish upon anyone. Um, if you are someone who wants to be successful and you don't want to sacrifice friendship, or if you don't want to end up in a lonely rut, I suggest you build your kingdom, build your success alongside other successful people, alongside other people who are as ambitious as you. Um, yeah, let's dive in. Let's see what this guy has to say, because I think it's going to be a load of bullshit.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, "You've changed," remember it's because they don't know how to say, "You've grown."
Oh, what a very insightful quote. People always fucking throw around these quotes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, look, man, like this is how you become successful." A very wise person once said this. It's bullshit. Like none of this wisdom matters for anything, right? Like unless you have results, right? Like imagine you're there starving, right, of hunger, and someone goes, "Oh, let me give you some wise words about how to not be a starving prick." You wouldn't give a shit, right? You all you need is something to satisfy your hunger. If you want to be successful, right? Words of wisdom is not going to save you, right? The only thing that is going to save you is if you take action towards your goals, right? If you take steps towards your goals. If you want wise words on how to be a better person, it's like no, you have to be a better person. You can't just like get some fucking random person's advice, because there's thousands of books that have advice in them, right? Like you know, Marcus Aurelius Meditations, right? Just read that book. It's got a lot of it's got a lot of wisdom in it, right? You can find a free copy, PDF copy online, available to anyone in the world. I'm sure you can find it in most languages across the world. Is it going to make you more successful? Probably not. Is it going to make you wiser? Probably not. It's just another bit of random information that you have. All these quotes, all these fucking books, all this self help shit, right? You know, whether he said, "Oh yeah, if you want to be exceptional, you're not going to be average. You're not going to be the same as everyone else." It's like, all right, who cares, right? Like, do you care about other people's problems, really and truly, right? If your life is shit, you care about sorting your own life out, and random pieces of shit advice like this guy is giving you, it's not going to fucking help you. Oh my god, it's so deep, like he can't even fucking speak right now. It hit him at such a visceral level. Jesus Christ, he's proper dragging it out. Look, he hasn't even said anything yet.
I define words.
Oh my god, it took him. That was forever. Like, just give a fucking answer, bro. Like, this is the podcast, right? Like, and he didn't even listen to it. I bet any money he doesn't, like, whether his answer is not actually related to that quote.
A lot because it helps me kind of like make sense of the world. And like exceptional is like an obvious one, right? We use the word exceptional like you are not like everyone else. But even saying it like that, like you are not like everyone else. And so if someone says you're not like everyone else, then you can just reframe that as like, I am exceptional. And that's not a bad thing. And most, and I don't, and I actually think that most people have, like, this might be counter to.
He's not saying anything. He's just stuttering right now. But talking about exceptional, no one gives a shit if you're exceptional. Right? Nobody gives a shit about if you're exceptional. All people give a shit about is results. Okay. All people give a shit about is your financial status, your resources that you have, the influence and power you exert in the world. That's all the people give a fuck about, right? They don't give that. You might be a special little snowflake, and you might be in your little basement in your mum's house, thinking like, oh, that you are special, that you are someone significant. So no one gives a fuck, bro. It's that unless you have resources, unless you have the recognition from other people, unless you build your own kingdom, so no one's going to give a fuck about you. Okay. The only reason this guy's relevant is because he became a multimillionaire, and then he decided that he being a millionaire isn't enough, that he also wants to be someone who's famous, right? The future that's coming, right? The banks are going to be able to control your finances, right? The only thing that you can control is your level of fame, right? So you have to decide that if you want to have a happy life in the future, you have to become someone who's famous. Because AI is going to take over your job, you're not going to be able to earn anything. The only jobs that are going to be left is influencers, right? Talking heads on a fucking podcast. It's the only thing that's left, right? And you might hate it, right? You might think, oh, that's not the world, how the world should be. Well, fuck you. That is how the world's going to end up, right? Like, everyone's spending time online, right? What do people watch online? Content. So the only thing that's left is content creators. And there's only so few spots available for you, right, for content creators. So right, it's down to you to become exceptional. AI is going to become so good that it will probably overtake human content creators. So the only people who will survive that scenario is people who have already established audiences, because humans will always choose human content over AI content, unless you have a weird fetish, I guess. Unless you're a little weirdo, likes to watch his AI girlfriend and wank over it. But now overall, you have to become someone who's famous, because even this guy with hundreds of millions of dollars, right? It wasn't enough. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars wasn't enough. So you might think, what's his goal? Is he trying to become a billionaire? He doesn't give a fuck about being a billionaire, right? All he cares about is amassing more resources, about building his kingdom. And that's what you should be doing too. All these fucking, different quotes that they're giving to each other, licking their asses, right? They're literally wanking each other off, thinking, oh, well done, well done. It means nothing, right? You should be using your time wisely. You should be using your time to build and amass your own audience. If you're interested in garnering an audience, if you're interested in becoming famous, if you understand what the problems that we're facing in the world and how the dystopian future ahead will fuck you over, if you understand the only way to survive is to become famous, then go to royalinstinct.com and you can work alongside me, and we can both find a way how to make you famous, how to make sure that you are developed into a king, and then I'll help you build your kingdom, and you can build your kingdom alongside me. I'm looking for like 100 people, right? So imagine me, you, and 98 other people who are building their kingdom side by side. There'll be 100 of us, right? There'll be hundreds of us that that you get to network with a special select group of people who all would have started where you were, right? And the journey is quick, right? The journey is easy in the sense of, it all it takes is for you to learn how to make content, which I can show you how to do it. But it just takes consistency, and most people aren't consistent. Most people give up very easily. Most people don't have the willpower. And even if you don't have any of this, So I can teach you all this if you go to rawlinstinct.com.
Most people's beliefs, but I think most people have the potential to be exceptional, and because most people are peculiar in their own way, they just stifle that because they want to be accepted by most people, but in so doing, never accomplish.
That's true. Most of society wants to. Well, if you look at the word depression, a lot of people say that they're depressed in the world. So depression is depress. So press. So depress, depression. You pressed down, right? So down, depression, pressing you down. So the world is pressing you down. It's pushing you down. It's stifling you, right? Whereas you need to express, right? Press upwards, right? Extrovert, right? You're going outwards, okay? And if you're able to express, if you're able to extrovert your personality, you'll feel a lot happier. There will be a lot less depression in the world. Okay, so when you're consuming, you're consuming inwards, right? You're into your eyes, into your mind. You're not expressing anything, right? So you end up depressing your emotions. You end up depressing your personality. Whereas if you speak, you're expressing to the world, right? You're bringing something out from inside you out into the world, right? You're expressing yourself, and it leads to feel good emotions, right? So it will reduce depression. I mean, look, even me saying express, I feel a lot happier saying it because I'm pulling something out of myself, right? Whereas what most people who are consumers are just taking it in, right? They're taking it up the arse. So yeah, it's if you don't want to live a depressed life, you have to learn how to express yourself. And my clients that I work with, I help them express themselves. I help them become better communicators, because that's the only way that you can garner attention, that you can become someone who's famous, that you can become someone who is seen as a leader, who'll be able to usher in their followers into the new phase of evolution for humanity.
Accomplish what they want to do because they conform. And so, like, if there's probably a lot of things about the world or even your world around you that you're like, this never made sense to me, but then you do it anyways. And I think that,
I mean, that's where I was for many years. It's like I was someone who was lost. I was someone who didn't understand how the world worked. I didn't understand my place in the world. I always wanted to do something great. I always knew I was supposed to do something great. Right? I'm someone who's very responsible. I'm someone who's very thrives under leadership positions. I thrive in having the ability to see the bigger picture and how it affects people down the line. So, but I never knew how to express that out. So in the end, by not finding an outlet for it, I ended up feeling very stifled and depressed, because I wasn't expressing myself, right? So you might be feeling the same. You might be feeling that you don't have a place in the world where you belong. You might feel that the world doesn't understand you. You don't understand your talents. You don't understand how to make your mark in the world. If that sounds like someone like you, I'm telling you now, what you have to do is you have to express upon the world who you are, right? What you are about. And if you are still unsure about how to do that, that is what I work with my clients. We find what's unique about you, and we'll extrapolate that and push it out into the world. That's what you base your content around, right? You might be very passionate about making I don't know, candle holders, right? Your passion's candle holders. And we'll be able to formulate your personality to talk about the subject of candle holders, right? And you might think, oh, okay, that's a very boring example. Well, the example doesn't matter. It's your ability to garner attention, to communicate, to produce charisma, and show it to the world. And if you want to learn how to do that, because that is the key to being successful online. That is the key to being successful in life in general, because we don't live in the real world anymore. Most of our lives are online now. So, and we're all moving into the metaverse, whether you like it or not. You might say you want to live off grid, but yeah, you're not going to have a very happy existence there. We're all going to be online. And if you want to be seen online, if you want to be visible, you have to be someone who's got an influence, someone who is an influencer, someone who has an audience, somebody who can garner attention, and is seen as a leader, as a subject matter expert, as an authority in his field. If that is what you want to achieve, if you want to make it, if you want the world to see your talents, if you want to make it to the next phase of evolution, go to rawlinstinct.com and I can help you build your kingdom.
A lot of innovation and a lot of what makes people exceptional is feeling, thinking that thought or seeing that thing and then being like, I don't think I'm going to follow that rule anymore. Like, why do I need to shower twice a day?
I mean, he doesn't look like he fucking showers once a week, bruv. Like, this guy, like, what shit example showering?
Like, I don't know. Like, why do I need to wear different clothing?
Because his clothes stink, you fucking sweaty cunt.
Like, there's just a lot of these social norms that people, usually pass down to us, or they're, bred into us in high school and college and things like that. But it's like you see a guy who, wears a cowboy hat and dresses a certain way, and he basically wants to say, I am this archetype of person. But if cowboy boots aren't as comfortable for you as New Balances are, and you know that, and you still wear cowboy boots, I would call you a fraud. Because like that is like it's like a micro rebellion.
Yeah, but that's him calling you a fraud. Like, so he's not the arbiter of what's comfortable or not, or do you get what I mean? Like, he's saying, oh, because you're wearing shoes that are uncomfortable for you, you're a fraud. But that might be who he wants to portray himself, not as a fraud, but as a cowboy. So a cowboy has to wear cowboy boots. Like, you can't be a cowboy with New Balance shoes, right? And just because he says so, like, who the fuck gives a shit about what Alex Hormozi has to say? Do you get what I mean? So so this is the thing: you're consuming this, and he's depressing you with his ideology, right? Whereas that you should be like, fuck that. I want to express my own ideology onto life. I want to wear uncomfortable cowboy shoes because I think they look fucking cool, right? And if I have to, my toe has to be uncomfortable for fucking 1 or 2 hours a day, then I don't give a shit. And now, if you're a true king and you want to wear cowboy boots, then you have the money to buy a comfortable cowboy boots, right? So his example is neither near here or there. He's just trying to say something to sound profound, which he isn't doing very well.
Against yourself.
Yep.
It's like there is, and like I look at old people a lot because usually they don't give a shit anymore. They've just like given up. And
because he's a pervert. That's why.
There was a survey that they did where the number one reason that old people like don't have as much drama and they're happier is they say they cited they literally don't have time for it. Like literally they don't have time for it. And I found that so interesting. And it's like, well, if I'm going to eventually be that way,
I mean, even if you're young watching this and you think you've got all the time in the world, you don't, right? Because the powers that be are ushering a new feudal system, a new type of society, where only if you're wealthy you get to live, only if you're an elite that you get to live with any types of freedom. People are about to be boxed in and plugged into the metaverse, and you might think, oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, it's gonna be like a fucking video game. It's like, there's so much more to the world than just video games, right? Like real life relationships. There's a reason why most people, most men aged 18 to 35, like 30% of them are virgins, haven't had sex in the last year, 2 years, whatever. It's because the elites don't want men to win anymore. They don't want humans to win. They want you plugged in. They want to bleed you of your resources. They want you spending all your money on OnlyFans, on porn, on all your addictions, all your vices, right? They're building customer avatars via loyalty schemes. They're farming your data, and they're gonna an AI is gonna take your jobs. So they're gonna take away your job. They're gonna take away all your resources, and then once they have no use for you, they're just gonna plug you into the metaverse and leave you to rot. Right? Most humans are gonna be redundant. If you don't want that fate for yourself, if you want a better life for yourself, a better existence, I suggest you go to royalinstinct.com, and I can show you how to escape this voluntary imprisonment that's coming, the voluntary enslavement. There's a lot of people online who say similar sort of things about what the problems are that are coming. The only true solution left, all right, it's not starting a social media agency. It's not starting an investment account, becoming a trader, doing crypto, whatever the new fancy shit is. The only thing that's left is for you to build a kingdom, and the way you do it online, right, is by becoming someone who's relevant, someone who has influence, someone who is famous, building your own fan base, and be seen as a king, be seen as someone who is of royal descent, be seen as a leader, because that's the only thing that's left, guys. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like, if you can't see what the problems are, and if you can't see the easiest solution to your problems, like, how much better would your life be if you wake up tomorrow and you have like 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers, right? You're a millionaire. Like what else would you want in life? Do you get what I mean? And then from there, you just build more wealth, build more fame, right? And it becomes a never-ending cycle. And there's only a small window of opportunity left for you to achieve this, for you to do this. If you believe that you are someone who wants to live the good life, who wants to live life at the top, then go to royalinstinct.com and I can show you how.
I'm 80. I might as well just start being that way now. And so they usually wear like really.
That's a really shit way of looking at it. If I'm going to be that way when I'm 80, when he's 80, he's probably also going to be senile. So is he going to start being senile now? Do you know what I mean? What if he has what if he loses controls of his bladder and he has to wear a diaper, right? Like, he's going to do that at 80, right? So what's the point of going to the toilet? Is he going to start doing that now?
Comfortable footwear, and like they keep their surroundings, like whatever weird peculiarities they have, they just accept them. And so I think a lot of like if life is a long journey of self-acceptance, I think the earlier you can accept your own.
He looks like a dwarf. He looks like a hobbit.
Peculiarities as just part of you, rather than trying to justify them or mold to the archetype that you think is acceptable within your social circle. At least for me, like, there's this period of discomfort when you change anything because everyone around you wants you to fit within the label that they are comfortable with.
But they also have the anchor of what you were before.
Yeah, exactly. And so they try and like, they people don't like that. And so they're like, no, I like you in this box. So just say, I know you're having a little thing right now. Don't worry. Just, and they just want to shove you back into it. And there's a lot of uncomfortable conversations that you have to have where it becomes.
He's not saying much about anything. Uncomfortable conversations. It's like, this isn't profound. You know what I mean? There's a lot of you watching now, right, that have more important things to say than this guy. He is an expert at apparently building 100 million valuation businesses. I think he's just someone that got very lucky at what he was doing, right place, right time, took his money, invested it into his fame, and now people look up to him like he has something intelligent to say. He's not. So far, he hasn't said anything intelligent, right? So there's a lot of you watching who could do a lot better than him, but just don't have the confidence, the balls, or the charisma to do it. He's not charismatic at all, right? There's a lot of you watching who've probably got much more charisma than this guy. I am someone who can help you bring that out of you. I'm someone who can show you the way, how to become famous, how to do better than this guy. Do you know what I mean? He's talking about giving advice. Oh yeah, if you want to wear comfortable shoes, wear comfortable shoes. All right, like, literally, like, you're starving and you're sexless right now. Do you know what I mean? You have no hopes of ever owning your own house. And this guy's saying just wear comfortable shoes, wear New Balances. All right, literally, he's literally a fucking boomer.
really socially awkward. And so like I said one the other day about like going home for the holidays, and the reason I don't like doing it is because often I have to confront a lot of people that I haven't seen in a long time, and they'll
His life just sounds very, very depressing. Do you get what I mean? His life, he just sounds like a depressed person. You know, life doesn't have to be like that, right? Like it's as you level up, you can right and you accumulate resources. The people who are closest to you, who love you and appreciate you, if you treat them, if they see that you're making a lot of wealth, if you're building a lot of resources, if you're building your fame, and they can benefit off that, right? If you treat them right, of course you're gonna look after your family, right? Like there's not gonna be no awful period of where you have to confront people. It's like no, you just turn up, you say, look, I'm a king now, and they might make a funny joke or whatever, and you just like why would you give a shit? Why would it be awkward for you? It's like you're doing better in life, okay? And these people are, if they're uncomfortable with it, that's a separate issue. But whatever response they give you, it's like, right, cool, but you're a king. You have your own kingdom, right? I'm looking for 100 people, right, to go on this journey with, right? We're going straight to the top. We're building our kingdoms. We're taking over. And if you believe that you belong there as well, right? If you want to be one of the 100 kings in this special network, this special King Arthur round table that we're building, I suggest you go to royalinstinct.com, and then there won't be none of this awkwardness. There won't be any of this weird conversations, this loneliness, having to confront anyone. It's like you'll be around people who understand you. You'll be around people who support you, who appreciate you. And you what this guy is talking about, he just needs to join the network. He needs to become part of the Royal Instinct membership, so I can teach him how to live a happier life, because he looks depressed as fuck, man.
speak to me in a way that I don't like. And before that, I would roll it off like whatever, no big deal. But I don't accept that.
Didn't you torpedo a family holiday a couple of years ago?
Many.
Yeah,
Many.
I think. But
I mean, the life's difficult enough. You don't have to be a prick and go out your way to be a prick. It's like, there's many times you say something like, and people get annoyed with it, but don't torpedo shit, right? Just to be an arsehole, which was what this guy's trying to do. Or just don't go. Or just don't go. It's like, invite the people, bring people to you, right? If you're a real king, you wouldn't go to other people. People will come to you, right? Your subjects will come to you.
that's when your friends start to say you've changed, it's because they don't know how to say you've grown.
And because they see so few people who have, so it makes sense that they don't have that. So I see that as a lack of skill, not malice. Like, it's not that they're bad people. They just don't even know it because so few people do change.
Yeah.
So few people do grow.
Have you seen this image? It's a person whose heart and head are flowers. It's kind of a 2D drawing.
Okay.
It's a bit of a sketch.
Okay.
And they say this person with the kind of smaller flower head and heart says, you've changed.
Mm-hmm.
And the person on the other side with this huge blooming thing says, I should hope so.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I see it in my head.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
I mean, this is the profound thing. They're talking about literally. It's like most of the audience that are watching them aren't growing. They aren't changing. So who is this conversation even fucking aimed at? It's fucking bullshit. These people are just trying to waste your time. They're trying to feed you all this profound bullshit that means nothing. They're talking about a fucking flower on someone's head. It's like, all right, great. Right, how's that going to help me? How's that going to help you in your sexless life? How's that going to help you when digital currencies are coming and they're telling you that you can't spend money on energy today because you've already spent enough money, and your contribution to climate change is more than the allocated amount that you're allowed, right? If you want to go on a holiday to Brazil or Spain, and the government says, oh, you can't travel on a plane because, right, you haven't contributed to the economy this year as much. Right. It's over, guys. It's like, you know, people are gonna put you down. They're gonna not allow you to be expressive. They're gonna take away your rights. They want you to listen to shit like this instead of growing your own audiences, building your own kingdom. They're just people who got lucky. These two characters, they just got lucky, and now they're building their own fame. They're building their own audiences off the back of your views. If you understand what's going on, if you understand that you need to build your own audience, that you need to become famous in your own right, that you need to be seen as a king, become a king, then go to royalinstinct.com, and together I can show you the way how to improve your life, how to live a happy life, how to not be lonely like Alex Hormozi, and be miserable, because he seems deeply, deeply depressed. If you understand what I'm saying, and I'm only looking for 100 people. I'm only looking for 100 people. If you are ready to take this next step, and be seen as a king, become a king in your own right, then join me, and I will see you soon.